All right, Cora, Nisha, and that's not her real name. She's a local area real estate agent. She asked us not to use her name. She recently received a showing request from a buyer, but he sounded a little unusual. That's her words, a little unusual on the phone, and she decided to pass on showing the property that he was calling about. Nisha has two questions for us, and specifically you, Cora. Does she face any problems for turning down the buyer's request for a showing? That's the first one. Why don't we answer that one? Any?
Again, another great question.
Yeah.
So let me clarify. Is she the listing agent?
Well, that's good. She doesn't identify. I presume she is because he called her to see this specific home. Yeah.
Okay, so I will answer it as if she could be a potential buyer's agent only or the listing agent.
Good.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Good.
if she's the buyer's agent and she's considering taking on a client and they may seem suspect, I think you listen to your intuition. I think realtor safety is very important. There's a number of cases that are quite astonishing, both at the state level and national level, that gives us good reason to pause, set up policies and procedures to protect ourselves from dangers. And ultimately, I'm a big fan of listening to your intuition. So you can pick who you work with, you can pick your clients. And if that is someone that she feels like she doesn't need to take on right now, it could be for good reason. Make that referral, pass that along, whatever the case may be. Now, if she's a listing agent and someone has called to look at a property that she has listed,
Hmm.
there could be concerns regarding any protected classes under fair housing that may be able to lodge a discrimination complaint. So, again, that may require a little bit more understanding of that fact pattern and what made her feel uneasy. And if there was anything in part of that conversation that could lend itself to a claim against her for discrimination, okay, and not showing the property. So it really would just depend on the facts. And I completely understand the concern for confidentiality. So I would ask that she reach out to an attorney, a trusted legal expert, to have that more intimate conversation. But that would be one of my primary concerns would be a potential discrimination clause case, excuse me. And then also, of course, the listing agent owes the fiduciary obligations to their client, to the
Hmm.
seller. So by turning down that showing and potentially unrightfully maybe doing so or unjustly doing so, did you have that conversation with your client?
Mm.
Did they share in your same intuition? Did they advise you to turn that down? What does that look like? So
Yeah.
there's rarely ever a yes or no answer when it comes to law. Certainly
So,
not real
yeah,
estate law either.
not on
So we
this one.
need to know a little bit more facts.
So, Corey, she could have given this to one of her fellow agents to show, who might be more comfortable with the conversation that she had had with them.
Absolutely. Depending on if it was a safety concern, if something was said that maybe made her fearful
Yeah.
to show that home by herself.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the fact pattern, and we'd want to unpack that and explore that a little to really better advise what could be at risk.